assistance to you from
Kurt Johnson,
an inmate at Marion County Jail. To accept this call, press 5. To refuse this call, hang up now. To block this call and all future calls, this call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
Hello, Kurt.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Rudy. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I just walked in the door and came back from grocery shopping.
Oh, okay. Well, one of these days maybe I can experience that again.
Yeah, amen to that. Amen.
So anyway, I wanted to call you again just to, I know that you have a pretty broad ministry and that you minister to these Muslims. I thought maybe I could give you some insights about my experience of living with them and studying their religion and having it practiced upon me in a sense. What I think might be the best way to minister to them and help your ministry.
Yeah, no, you bet. You bet. I was trying to reach out to Khalil al-Akifi. I don't want to get in trouble by mentioning specific names, but they banned me from communicating with him ever again. He was he has his own documentary. He's like the star of a movie they made about the government setting up and creating terrorists. So I don't know if you ever had any contact with him, but yes, we definitely do try to minister to Muslims.
My neighbor.
Oh, is he? Okay, well,
He's
very
my
good.
Neighbor.
Gotcha.
Yeah. In
Okay.
fact, he's living in my old cell.
Wow, incredible.
So I was in 10 and he was in 11. Now he's in 10 and I'm in 11.
Gotcha.
After I got out of the shoot.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah.
And he's a real zealot. I mean, regardless whether he's innocent or guilty, he's brainwashed, oppressed, zealot Muslim. That's just who he is.
Yep.
And my experience with him is that first off, if anybody really studies the Muslim religion, it's a heresy of Christianity and Judaism. And what they really did was just take the worst parts of all the religions, those two religions, and threw out the divinity, and came up with their own merit-based system with no forgiveness and no love. And I think that's their weakness. You can't reason with them because they're at least the ones at the level that I deal with them. Can't reason with them. There's no logic. They're brainwashed. They sit around 8 hours a day and read the Quran like a mantra. They pray until they got calluses on their foreheads. You know what I mean? And they're just everything's merit based. They have, especially when I was dealing with them on the Schaefer issue, they're unreasonable. You can't. They've lost their humanity.
Yeah.
But under that oppression, what I really think is the one thing that they can address with their rhetoric and oppression is the love of Christ. They don't have any concept of how to deal with that. And if your people can just practice love upon these people, that will eventually open the door. And it certainly there's no argument against it in their religion because they just don't know anything about it.
Right, that's very powerful. Yeah, to show the love of Christ, I guess that's the most powerful thing. A real quick question, and if you don't know or don't know the details, but we only heard very small things. Why would they rise up? When I say they, I mean the Muslims, to attack Schaefer. I mean that seemed to be a small detail that I heard. I can't imagine why they would even target him.
Well, there was a guy that it was really. It was a proximity argument over television, and they got territorial. And then what happens is we have kind of a crazy dude that went into Schaefer to confide with his problems on the television and with the Muslims, and then Schaefer spilled his personality and personal issues with this guy, and then he went out and broadcast it to all the Muslims, and they're like, "Here, he's messing with us and creating problems with the non-Muslims." And at the end of, I was in the shoe for almost 90 days, and while I was in there, Schaefer was talking himself into trouble by getting in an issue with this guy, and then he's a little insecure as a man, and he would come in and say, "Oh, I got to go fight him," and I wasn't there to talk to Christ into him. And these guys are unforgiving; they don't know anything about forgiveness, and and they were holding issues for 2 and 3 years on this guy, and it all stacks up, and then it all came to a head at one time, and the group themselves have brought in a bunch of young zealots, like in a gang, like it's a religious gang. So all the young guys that send me, let me do the mission, kind of guys that have no brain cells, just muscle.
Right.
And the combination of all those things is what brought it about. And I wasn't there to diffuse it, and I attempted to diffuse it, but there wasn't a way, I don't think, to diffuse it without injury to him, except for the move.
I see.
And I wish it wasn't the case, because he was like my son.
Yeah.
But and I think God was in it when it was all said and done, and hopefully God did something in Schaefer to teach him a little bit more maturity and how to handle and manage wicked men, which I don't think that's his best skill yet.
Yeah,
So.
Yeah, I got you. Well,
and it's certainly nothing. It would be absolutely nothing in a normal prison.
Yeah.
But it's just not a normal prison.
Yeah, it's certainly not. I mean, we were just talking last night. There's 2.3 million people in America's prison systems, and you told us the other day that only 80, 40 in Terre Haute and 40 in Marion are in CMU. So that's quite a small number compared to the overall amount of people in prison in America.
Yeah, and according to their budget, it's $300,000 per inmate versus $27,000.
Wow. They must have a very specific criteria to stick somebody in a CMU, and a very high need to silence you and from your message ever getting out. So when your message does get out, that's very special. So when you call us, I want to make sure you have all the airtime to say whatever you want to say, because it's so rare that we get a chance to talk to you.
Yeah, well, I don't know that this is going to be repeated. That's for sure, because this is probably the last call. But I went and got my indictment today, and my 4 new charges, 2 bankruptcy frauds and 2 false statements in a bankruptcy proceeding. So all of them carry 5 years, 20-year max. And that's what I'm faced with, but I'm not concerned about it. And you guys can all keep it in prayer, but it's not, like I say, it's not something that concerns me. It'll go fine. So.
Yeah. Now, can you say that last part again? You mentioned the amount of time. Was that your act? It went over my head, Kurt. What was the time?
No, it's 4 years with 5 years statutory max. 20 years is the statutory max. Of course, it doesn't come down to that under the sentencing guidelines. So, I mean, if everything goes terrible, I'll probably get another 5 years.
I see. Okay. Well, I pray that's not the case. What is your release date now? I know I have it on the website, but it escapes me at the moment.
2030.
2030. That just sounds so horrible to even say out loud. My God.
There's no victim.
There's no victim in your crime.
I get my commissary back in 2042, so that's even worse.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gallows humor or prison humor. You'll get your commissary back in 2042.
Yeah, that's prison humor.
I see. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Well, it's good to see that you're keeping your sanity. Yeah, he was joking, baby.
Yeah, well. Yeah, it's easy to keep your sanity. I mean, we're not of this world.
Yeah.
And what can men do to me? They can put me in a box by myself. They can sweat me out. They can torture me. I slept on the cement for 2 years. You know what I mean?
Wow.
They can do those things, but this body's not me. I'm a spirit that just happens to have a body. I'm not a body.
Amen.
Spirit.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, I do pray that God has a wonderful plan for your life, Kurt. I mean, you got a great testimony, brother.
It's already been prophesied over me. August 5th, 2005. So it's a long time ago now. But strange things. It's 33 years since my prophecy. 13 years since my arrest, and there's a lot of other significant numbers that God is working with at the moment. I spent 20 years researching the 13th tribe of Manasseh, which helped me understand eschatology and how it all works and how I fit into end-time prophecy, how Donald Trump fits into end-time prophecy. Schaefer will tell you that, I told him that Great Britain was going to leave the European Union 5 years before they did, and I was talking about it 15 years ago. So, you can look at things from Scripture. if you pay attention.
Yeah.
And studying the 13th tribe is how I learned all this stuff.
Well, I know that if I was in prison, the only silver lining, or one of the very few silver linings that I could think of, is that people would send me books about, topics that I'm interested in. Is there any particular books that you would like us to try to keep an eye out for, or anything at all that we can do to make your time a little bit more?
Well, I've really been enjoying studying prayer. I've read, the complete works of Ian Bounds. I've read, I'm trying to remember that guy real famous guy on prayer from 1800s down in South Africa. I don't know if that'll come to you, but I keep forgetting his name. But I've read him, and anything that's really good on prayer. There's a lot of bad stuff out there on prayer, but anything that's good, that's been my favorite thing to read about lately, just to learn how to pray. I think when a person really learns how to pray, I'm 42 years in the Lord, and I can't say I know how to pray great yet, but I have gotten a lot better. And prayer is probably one of the best weapons and tools that God has ever given us. Think about it. We get to talk to the living God, and my whole success in prayer that I shared with you guys already was that I went to God and I pled God. I said, "This is you. This is your rules. This is how you behave. This is according to your prophecy. I wouldn't even be talking to you if you didn't prophesy it. So, you have to now confirm my faith, not my doubts. You have to confirm my faith." And and I think that's the kind of prayer life where the Father says, "That's my boy." Keep praying like that, because that's the way Jesus did it. And so I like learning more and more about that, and taking from other people's experiences and successes, because what prayer can be is a crossover to every other need that a person has in life.
Amen, amen. Our pastor often, he's a big proponent of prayer. He preaches on that topic quite often. One of his famous quotes is, "Prayer is the nerve that moves the muscle in the arm of God." And it's an amazing thought to think that you and I can communicate and commune with the Creator of the universe. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and He desires it.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So, and no Muslim could ever experience what we experience. This phony religion of banging your head against the carpet and saying ritualistic prayers that half of them don't even understand the Arabic they're talking in, and you couldn't even. I live with them. You can't stand hearing the prayers over and over and over again. How could God understand? It's like, are you kidding me? Can't you just be a person and relate to me?
Right.
It's just so phony. And again, there's no forgiveness. They couldn't forgive Schaefer for stuff that was 2 and 3 years old, and so they saved up all these stamps and they tried to cash them in when they had an opportunity of extra muscle in the unit, and then some other retards that are living in our unit and who are malicious and just took advantage of him in the situation, and it just all, like a tidal wave, kind of overcame him. And I didn't have any choice but to recommend for him to go to the shoe and not get hurt. Otherwise, it was going to be.
Right.
It was going to be, and if it was just me and Schaefer, I don't care, 20 guys were going to do it, but it's not God's will for us to flex our muscles when we can trust in Him, and I felt like it was, we'll take the, what prisoners consider the cowardly way out, but what I considered the wise way out, and I was steaming over it and very angry, and I had to diffuse that and learn to love the Muslims even when they don't deserve it, right? And that was my good lesson. Plus, I learned how to pray, and I got an opportunity to encourage Schaefer to pray, and hopefully he learned some things. And I think in the transfer, he'll probably have some kind of blessings that he's not aware of yet. So,
amen. Amen. Well, absolutely amazing.
Fight with your knuckles.
1 minute remaining.
Well, you're just so encouraging with your testimony. Go ahead. I'm so sorry, Kurt. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying it's a lot better than fighting with your knuckles. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have a God that's a lot better than the nerve in our arms.
Yeah. Well, I think they've banned me from sending books, but if I find any good books on prayer, I will maybe send it to your wife, or maybe your wife can order it if I provide the funds. But I really hate that they've banned me from communicating with you guys, because I enjoy hearing and communicating and fellowshipping with you guys. But maybe the Lord will open that up again at some point.
Oh, I'm sure they will, because this warden might not be there much longer if I'm successful.
Oh, amen. That'll be a victory. Praise God. I'll pray that the Lord will move in that direction.
I hear you. So God bless you guys, and appreciate your ministry.
Okay. We love you, Kurt, and we're praying with you.
We're praying with you.
I just read on Wikipedia, that somebody said on Wikipedia that CMUs are unconstitutional.
Yeah.